to another place. Even I, come in with me. I'll talk about love. You say you have plans, but I'm not.
Hi wonderful people, you're welcome to today's tutorial. Yes, thank you for joining in today's class. So if today is your first time of joining my channel, please do subscribe and click on that notification bell, okay? So basically here is the material we're going to use. 6 yards of this Kampala fabric. Yes, that's what we're going to use to demonstrate this. That is how to sew a Bubu Kaftan with V scrub. So now our material has been folded into 4. We're cutting just both the front and the back. And I went ahead to mark out our starting point. So from this our starting point, we'll take the full length of the gown, which is 58 inches plus 2 inches for hemming at the base. So altogether is 60 inches. Our material is folded into 4, both front and the back already, and we are starting from this point, the closed area. Yes, the folded area. So I've gone ahead to mark both the shoulder and our sleeve length, which is 20 inches altogether. Yes, so what I will do next is to mark out our neckline. So for the neck width is 3 inches neck width, while the shoulder measurement is 8 inches. So for the back, I came down, for the back depth, I came down 1 inch. Then I curve it out. So starting from the end part of our gown, so I came down to 2 inches. So all the way for our shoulder slant. From that end, I'll make it a straight line to meet our neckline. So from our shoulder slant, so I came down to 11 inches for our armhole length. So that's that for our armhole length or sleeve length. That is 11 inches. Right from the shoulder, I came down to our hip measurement, our hip length, which is 25 inches. So I made it a straight line. So for our hip measurement, the hip measurement of my client is 44 inches. So when you divide 44 into 4, we have 11 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark the 11 inches down. So I went ahead and added extra inches for ease. I added 4 inches extra. You could go ahead and add as much as you want, 5 inches, 6 inches, depending how wide you want your gown to be. So from our hip length, I came down to 7 inches length because it's a cowl kaftan. From there, we are going to curve it out all the way to our sleeve length. So I came down to 7 inches and I went ahead and marked it out. So all the way from that, our 7 inches, we are going to create a cowl shape. That is a cowl Bubu kaftan. So coming down to our sleeve length, I came in 4 inches length to create that. So all the way from our hip measurement, the allowance that we mapped out, I trace it out from that our 7 inches to our hip to meet. So it's going to, just watch what I'm doing, it's going to curve, that is a cowl shape, all the way to meet our sleeve. just the way you see me doing it. It's going to curve to meet our sleeve length. So coming down to our sleeve length, I came in 1 inch to curve it out or to give it that shape, because at the armhole it's not supposed to be straight. So that's that for our armhole. So all the way from that our 7 inches we came down, I'll now connect it all the way to the base or the hem of our gown. So that's it. So what I'm going to do next is to cut. So watch as I cut it out. Remember the shoulder area, I gave it, so I came up 1/2 inch for our allowance. Yes, I went ahead and added 1/2 inch at the shoulder area for our shoulder allowance. So from that 1/2 inch which I've added, so we're going to cut out. So here we are. So what we are about to do next is to remove the back bodies and now work upon our front bodies. So we're going to work on actually on the neck area. Because at the neck area it's going to be a V-scrub neckline together with a design, a facing design at the front bodies. So starting from our 3 inches wideness, I came down from there, I came down to 8 inches. Yes, you could make yours to be as long as as lengthy as you want, depending on the opening you want. And I came in 1 inch. So all the way from that 1 inch, just watch what I'm doing. You connect it to meet the 3 inches width. So I went ahead and cut it out. Be careful as you cut so that it will not exceed the 1 inch or 1.5 inches you will mark out. So that's that for our front bodies. So what I'm about to do next is to put in our front bodies and back bodies together, which I have done. So I've put in our front bodies and back bodies together and went ahead. I'll go ahead and close it using 1/2 inch to close it at the shoulder area. So here I've closed it already. So I'll go ahead and notch the center point of the back neckline. Yes, so I've notched it. I folded the two together and gave it a notch at the center. All the way from that notch, I will take our measurement to meet from this notch. Now what I'm trying to explain, I'll take the measurement to meet the edge where we stopped, that edge at that point there, not at the center base, at the edge. So whatever I will get, I'll go ahead and multiply it into 2. Or if you don't want to do it that way, you could just start from one edge and take it all the way around to the next edge. Sorry you are not seeing it, my camera went out from the view. So I've gone ahead and measured out our neck. So what I will do next is to take the actual measurement which I got. I will cut out a long strip, which I have done. So I went ahead and added 4 extra inches, or 5. Yes, you can make yours to be 4 or 5 for more. Like, it's better it is in excess than when you have a shortage of it. So for the width, I mapped out 2.5 inches. Remember when we went ahead to cut our front bodies, we came in 1 inch. So that means what we have there, when we open the top, we have 2 inches. That's why our width is 2.5 inches for the band. So now for the front facing, yes, so I'll come down. I came down 18 inches length. It depends on how long you want your facing to be. But for my client wanted it long. So I came down 18 inches in length, while the width is 10 inches. So while the width is 10 inches. So what next I will do is to connect it in a straight line. So that's that. What next I will do is to cut. So I'm going to cut it. Let me concentrate on the area I want to work upon. So here we are. So turning it to the back. This is how it's going to be while stitching. I'm going to fold it. That is how you are going to join it. But before then, we are going to cut to give it a design at the front. So starting from the base, I came up to 3 inches. So I'll chalk it out on both ends. Then I went ahead and took note of the half of, remember we said the width is 10 inches. So half of 10 is 5. So I marked 5 inches in between. That is the middle point. So what I'm going to do next is to connect it. So I'll go ahead and cut it. So that's that for our facing. This is how our facing is going to be on the front bodies. So I'm going to iron out stay on it. So I'll go ahead and fold 1/2 inch all the way around using our iron. So I've done that. Here is our band or long strip. I've gone ahead to fold 1/2 inch already at both ends. That's for our band. Then here is our facing. I've ironed out stay on it, or paper stay. So I'll go ahead and fold using iron, fold 1/2 inch on it round. So I went ahead for the band. I gave it a notch at the center point. So starting from the back neckline where we gave a notch initially, starting from that notch, so we are going to join the 2 notches to meet at the same point. So that's that. So I'm going to flip it to the front. So using the right side of the fabric. So just the way you see me doing it, that's the way it's going to stay at the right side before stitching. So here am I on the sewing machine. So on my sewing machine, so I'm going to pin it just the way I said before, at that point at the back neck. So I'm going to use a pin to hold it down, then stitch it all the way around using the right side. You back stitch from that point, then you start stitching. Remember, like I said before, it's on the right side I'm stitching the band. So I've done one end and I will do the same on the other end. So look at what I'm trying to demonstrate. At that edge where we notched before, I stitched down ½ inch. I came down ½ inch. I didn't really stop at that point where we gave a notch. So I came down ½ inch. That's what I'm trying to explain. I just hope you understood me. So at that point where I came down, see what I'm trying to demonstrate? I just notched it so that you can see it very well. So I went ahead and shook it down. So at that point, I'm going to notch it in that angle. Yes, just the way you see me do. I'll just give it a notch, a slight notch. So this will enable me to fold the collar inside, or a band inside it. So remember, this is our front or the right side of our fabric. So we have folded in our collar inside the wrong side. So I just hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So I went ahead to turn it to the wrong side now. So this is how it looks on our wrong side, the wrong side of the fabric. So remember, like what I was trying to explain before, that I came down, or I stitched down ½ inch from that notch area. So that ½ inch, we are going to, after cutting the excess collar. So here is that ½ inch which I came down. So using that ½ inch, I'm going to flip it just that way and stitch and make a stitch. I'll close it up. Let's make a stitch on it. So that's that for our collar. So that's it for our V-shape scrub neckline. So what I will do next is to iron it out. So I'll give it a hot press so that it can relax very well. And after that, I'll place the facing. So here it is, our facing. We can stitch our facing this way, just the way you see me do. Just give it a notch, look for the midpoint. After which, I'll fold the facing, taking note of that middle point. The middle point must match with our V-shape scrub neckline. I'll close it that way, or If you don't want to close it this way, you could just turn it the way and stitch and then flip it down. After which, you just close the sides using 1/2 inch, taking note of our design at the front area. So now I've done that, I've closed, I've stitched our V-shaped scrub neck. Then at the same time I've put in our facing. So now for our pocket, so I came down 19 inches. You could make yours 20 inches, 19 inches from our shoulder. From our shoulder line, I came down 19 inches on both sides. So for our pocket length, I came down 7 inches. So I went ahead and notched it. So that's where our pocket is going to be placed. So here is our pocket. I've gone ahead and cut our pocket. The width of our pocket is 8 inches, while the length is 13 inches. You could make yours 12 or even at 14 inches, depending on how length you want it. So I would going to fix it that way. So now for our sleeve. For the sleeve, I'm going to fold it. Went ahead and folded it this way. I will stitch it after folding. And at the same time, use 1 inch to close it all the way down. While closing, also take note of your pocket space. So from the base, I came up to 19 inches. Remember, while cutting our gown, we went ahead and added 2 extra inches for the hemming at the lower area. So from our base, I came up 19 inches and I shook it down. Here is going to have opening. So I'm going to close the sides, fix the pocket, yes, and at the same time fold the lower hem or the base. I'm going to do this and show us the final look of our gown.
I was waiting till the sky was falling, held my breath to every single star.